Hey, what's going on, everybody watching DualShockers TV on DualShockers.com. We're here checking out WWE 2K16 with Mark, the executive producer, or the god of all things WWE, as I like to call you. I want to give a special shout out. This is going to be a little different than we normally do. We got r/Squared Circle community actually sending us questions.
Oh, cool.
We put up a post asking them what their thoughts were and what their questions were for you. And they went in. So here we go.
I'm sure they did.
Where we're going to begin, a lot of created character stuff questions. They were asking if they can use custom audio and video for entrances on their created characters.
Well, we're not talking about all the details that create a...
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll see. That'll come out in the months to come.
Oh, so that's a definite maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So I know a lot of questions were asked in regards to reversals, I guess, compared to 2K15.
Right.
What's going on with 2K16?
Well, I mean, we've already talked about it a little bit, so we've really revamped the reversal system this year. And so one of the biggest changes is that each superstar has a different number of reversals that they start out the match with, and they'll regenerate over time. But what it does is it creates kind of a strategy to the whole match. And you got to constantly or consistently think about what you're trying to do, and do I really want to reverse that stomp or that punch, or am I going to wait until he tries to do something bigger? And the interesting thing, watching people play and playing ourselves, it really creates another layer of strategy to the game. And it's kind of, from our early play tests with everybody, it's kind of like dialed back the reversal fest. We know the game tended to devolve into reversals fest, especially against two people playing together.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, and we would have those in our office as well. So this is something that was really important for us to try and improve in the game and make it so you and me can still have a competitive match, and the better person's probably going to win, but it's not going to be...
You don't want to punch mirrors at the end of the match.
Exactly.
So one of the questions they have here, what's new to my career and what's actually in my career?
Well, we're going to have a big My Career release later on, but I'll give you the highlights that we're talking about for now. So for now, we're already saying that My Career starts in NXT, and this year does go all the way to the Hall of Fame. So your ultimate goal is to get into the Hall of Fame. So the mode is a much deeper, richer mode this year. We're also making it so that your actions and what you do determines what rivalries you get into. So if you have a certain guy you have a beef with personally, you can go get in a rivalry with him, have storylines generated around that, and have that experience.
So it isn't as canned, it's more kind of developed as you go.
It's you and your career and your path to the Hall of Fame and the story you want to live through. You can also this year go and get a tag team. If you want to create an ally and go after the tag belts, go do it. But you got to get someone to like you first.
You need a partner. You can't...
It's really hard on...
So you can't get the tag belts by yourself. Is that what you're confirming?
I'm confirming that, yes. That'd be impressive, though.
That would be pretty cool, actually. What's the biggest change from this year from the last, and is career mode improved? So a lot of questions about career mode.
Well, career mode's definitely improved. Like I say, when we roll out that the deep talk about career mode in a few weeks to come, people I think will be really happy to hear what's going on in career mode. But to nail down just one change for this year is really hard, because I mean we really went to town this year to try and expand the game in all directions. So, you know,
well, that's good to hear, because nobody wants to hear there's just a roster update, you know? Like,
yeah, and I mean, and our roster is like the largest roster ever. So even the part that normally is like, oh, well, whatever, it's a roster.
Yeah.
No, we've put the most characters in this game that's ever been in a wrestling game. And that's something that we wanted to do for the fans, so that if they had a connection to different guys from different eras, they're going to be able to play that out in our game.
Awesome. Now, this one's an interesting. He actually wrote gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. Not a question, but give us feedback on how gameplay has improved over last year's game.
Well, this man is a man speaking to my heart. So one of the things we pride ourselves at Visual Concepts is like the 3 pillars of game making, that was we call it. Visuals, it's presentation, and then it's gameplay. So for us, gameplay is super important. And you know, to go into a long speech about all the things we changed in gameplay and how it plays differently, it'd be really hard to do quick. But I'll highlight some of the things we've changed that people will understand will have a big impact on the game. The first one's the reversal system. That's a huge gameplay changer for us. We've redone the submission mechanic. It's a very different mechanic now. We've redone the...
A very different submissions mechanic, really.
Yeah, no, and we've also redone the pinning mechanic. So there's 3 of the major, you know, systems of our game that are reworked. We have more moves in the game than ever before. We have more signature moves in the game than before. So the game and every character is starting to play more and more like themselves. We spent a lot of time working on the AI and having them behave more like personalities, so that certain characters do certain things more often, because that's who they are.
Well, that feeds in. That was actually a question. Do different wrestlers feel different?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things we've been focusing on a lot on. We want, when you wrestle with Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens or Bad News Barrett, to have a different experience, because you should.
Right.
I mean, they're all wrestlers, they're all great talent, but they've all behaved very different.
One of the questions was, can they make custom signs this year?
Custom crowd signs, I'm assuming? No.
Ah, that'd be pretty cool, though.
It would be. We were talking about it. There's some sensitivities around it.
Okay. Well, okay, all right. I see. People get out of hand and take it too far. And I mean, it becomes mature for.
Exactly. So, you know, we're pushing the boundaries with our creation suite. We added the logo import feature last year. It allows you to bring your own textures into our game and use them on your superstar. And we pushed that even farther this year. And we'll continue to push it in the future. But this year we brought back Create a Diva, Create a Championship, Create a Arena, and build Create a Show. So at some point, there's only so much we can do, too. And signs didn't make that list this year.
Create a shoe, create a sock.
Literally, I mean, we'll get there in the long run. I mean, why not?
People were asking about the PC release. Any words on that?
We're not talking about it quite yet.
Just console. We're talking right now, huh?
Right, the big four.
All right. Let's see. Over there we see Create an Arena. Is there a Create an Arena?
Yes, there is.
People are going to be stoked about that. So you can actually make your version of like MSG.
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, we give you a toolbox and you're able to build your own sets, your own stage designs, your own arena size. So yeah.
Awesome. Let's see anything. Let's see more questions about custom soundtracks. Can they import sound themes in this version?
So obviously that's something that's not supported on the platforms right now, right? So we're still looking at ways to potentially work around it, but for now,
it's just a limitation of what the technology is there.
Right. And so one of the things that we announced this year, though, is that we're allowing all the superstar themes to be used as part of the soundtrack. So we'll have our playlist, which is the soundtrack that we procured this year, and then we have all the custom superstar entrance themes available for people as well.
Awesome. Now, this is an interesting one. Will there be a story designer like 2K14 had, and will there be levels of wrestler creation? Will it be more up to level of 2K13 or 2K14?
So story designer isn't something that we brought back this year.
Okay.
I mean, story designer is a big undertaking, and we don't want to do something and not get it done right.
There's only so much we can throw in one game.
So this year, I mean, we took a look at, and a lot of these decisions are based on our consumer feedback, and also the telemetry we get back from the game telling us what people are doing and how many people use different modes. And I know there's a huge number of people that are big fans of story designer, and it's something that we want to bring to the title, but we had to focus on the other creation features first.
For sure. Now, I mean, these guys went in. There's questions upon questions upon questions. Edge's hair, Shawn Michaels' hair, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Hair. Yes,
they're all in there. More importantly, the pin mechanic. That's a big one that people were asking about. Go briefly into that real quick.
Well, I mean, the pin mechanic to us, it's hard to describe. It's something you actually have to feel. But essentially, we change it from being a bar where you're holding and releasing to a circular system that you're timing. And the way it works is based on your ratings and the situation of the match, like what your health level's at, the target zone is going to change size. And the speed of the meter changes, and it moves around between pin counts. So it's something that we did to create a little bit more of a dynamic thing, so you can't get good at one muscle memory, because we know that our fans got really good. We've seen them do it. We know they're amazing at doing that. This one's going to be, it's interesting because it's a little bit more challenging when we dial it up, but if you dial it down a little bit, it's a little bit more accessible too. So that's something that we want to always provide, is like something that can go really hard for our hardcore fans, and something that someone with their 8-year-old kid can have a great experience with as well.
Awesome. Well, I'll wrap it up with this one, which is near and dear to my heart. Community creations. Is that coming back? Is that going to be still core?
Absolutely. It's a core of what we do. We love the community creations. It's amazing to see what everybody does.
There was some ridiculous things. I saw things from like old school wrestlers to Goku to the Hulk to Spider-Man.
With the improvements that we'll be rolling out in the next couple of weeks about the creation suite and what we've done, they'll be even farther. It's getting ridiculous.
It's exciting. Mark, appreciate it. Guys, special shout out again, r/squared circle. These guys, hardcore fans, they want to pick your brain more than I do, and we only have a limited time, so we'll keep it to this. But Mark, again, thank you very much, guys. 2K16 is looking legit, feeling legit. We got superstars in the background, we got music in the background, and we got great questions from the community. We're out.